Hello, everyone. Hello. Happy Saturday or happy Catterday, if you also have cats like I do. We are going to play NecroBarista Final Pour. I was very excited to play this on Monday and then was not able to, so we're going to give it 2 hours today. And then we back after a short break and do kimono tea time as well. Welcome in if you are new here, and welcome back if you are returning. I'm Maida. I am your cozy pilot for the day. I am currently joined by both of my cats, if you can believe it. Ash is here in the one cat hammock that we have left on the desk. And Dusk is sitting in my chair, so I am on the edge of my chair. If you hear something crash, it's probably me falling into my desk because I am letting Dusk sit on the majority of my chair right now. I have a delicious turmeric chai with me with oat milk. And yeah, I am ready to get into this. I think this is another story-rich game, which you guys know I don't typically do. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see how this one goes also. Let's get into it here. New game, obviously. Oh, and let's see if we can have our little tea tuber up here as well. Hopefully she's okay on that side. We'll see. We had to disappear yesterday for the text. Is that an eye? It's an eye. They thought of the faraway grave on the plain. They thought of the comrade who came not again. They lifted their glasses and sadly they said, "We drink to the name of the mate who is dead." Henry Lawson. It's too bloody damp down here. I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open. There's a ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddie, mind opening it up? Get some fresh air circulating. Other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on top of it. You'll have to grin and bear it. Whoa, I like the graphics. Can we hurry this up? Calm your farm, old man. You're well aware it takes a while to set up. I don't appreciate your tone. Sorry. At the very least, can we turn on some lights? With all the rubbish you've got scattered around the place, I'd like to at least know where I'm putting my feet. Ashley, would you mind? Oh. Cool. Where are we? Thanks. You're more organized than last time, I see. Practice makes perfect. Hey, Maddie. How much more wire do we need? I think that's enough. Great. Now, Che? What's up, little P? I found you a chair. Thank you. Oh, it's a weird looking chair. Maybe I sat on something like that in art class before, I don't know. So, this whole thing, surely it's not legal, yeah? Maddie wasn't clear on that. Yes, the council found it confronting. For good reason, I suppose. Because it utterly upsets the natural order, mate. It's not just bureaucracy. Shush you. Most rules can be bent, after all. And Maddie has a particular fascination with breaking rules. All right. As I'm sure you've realized. Hey, don't give her all the credit. Is this related to her gambling for time? So, the transfer. It was the same sort of magic we're doing now, yes. Small scale, though. Doing it on a larger scale requires a bit more preparation. The Council successfully suppressed all available information about it, though. For good reason. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try it again after you fail, for that matter. Stubborn scholars notwithstanding. What do you even call this sort of magic, then? Probably alchemy. Question's irrelevant. There's like a circle in the middle of the floor. Because it's banned. Oh boy. Extremely cool? That's what I call it. Well, by definition, it's a conduit ritual. But hey, we're among friends. So we can call it what it really is. Necromancy. Alright, I was close. That was really cool. I like their world building as well. You didn't get to see a lot of it in there, but I really like the contrast of the darkness with the glowing lights. From your hazy memories, a certain word calls out to you. Necromancy. Try desperately to remember what it meant. Necromancy. Oh, I can click on the word. Clicking on it. Death. This fragment is a memory. This fragment of a memory stays with you. Piece together the past, remember what transpired, and never forget. You are. Scattered, practice, fascination, bureaucracy, physics. Oh, wow. All right. Oh, gosh. There are a lot of words there. All right, so we're buying time for ourselves. What if I walk backwards, though? What if I go this way? Man. All right, forward we go. Oh, this looks like us. What is that? The Tree of Life? Press and hold left click to inspect memory. Maddie's rules. We welcome both living and dead patrons. Will be served in the order they arrive. Don't ask who's alive. It's rude. If someone wants you to know, they'll tell you. The dead have 24 hours to spend within the premises before moving on. Strictly enforced. No, we don't have Wi-Fi. Report broken items and other anomalies to staff. We can't clean up your broken glass or spatial rift if we don't know about it. Don't feed the Eidolons. Eidolons? They can't eat, and offering them food just reminds them of that cruel fact. Okay. Cool. Doors open. Oh, there's a tree there. Part 1. There's no creme to this espresso shot whatsoever. We are making a macchiato. The terminal, Carlton, Victoria, Australia 3053. Excerpts from online reviews. Pretty unremarkable coffee. Barista speaks Chinese, but exclusively uses it to mock people to their faces. I am very self-conscious about my top hat now. Observed a little girl running around the cafe with a knife, unsupervised. Came down and with deep sense of ennui after visiting. Was rudely told to stop being a big dweebus after complaining about burnt taste in my coffee. The coffee is some of the best I've ever had. 5 stars. Disclosure, I have no taste buds. The door closes. Oh, he looks like a Pokemon trainer. Hey, mate. You right? Ach. You can see me? Clear as day, yeah. What can I get you? I've been walking around for hours. Nobody was talking to me. I didn't even know how I got here. I think you'll find it was via the front door. Okay. Right. Where am I? This dearly departed is the terminal. Carlton's finest. Departed. They say our coffee is to die for. Dang. So, I don't really know how to go about this. Ask me anything, man. You're not the first disheveled dead guy to drop in, and I'm sure you won't be the last. What does everyone else ask? They generally ask, what does everyone else ask? Ah, shit. They always say that. And then there's the embarrassed silence. All right. I get it. You make a habit of bullying everyone who comes through, or just the pitiful ones? It's almost exclusively the latter. I guess that's consistent. Always felt like people saw me as a pitiful guy. Sorry, I was actually just kidding there. No, you're right. I'm a fucking sad sack. Boss hated me, family hated me, work sucked. Just like everything else about me. Now I'm never even gonna have a chance to make things better for myself. That's it. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Hey, come on. And now I'm sitting in a cafe for dead people falling apart in front of the barista. Mate, pull it together. Number 1 rule, no breakdowns in the cafe, please. That wasn't the number 1 rule. The number 1 rule was not to ask if somebody was living or dead. I promise, man, you are okay. I know how it is. Are you dead? No. And I don't know if you read the rules outside, but God, yes, I did. I can't even get that right. In that case, you'll have to read that you have 24 hours left before you gotta move on to the next place. And I don't think you want to spend them having one long extended panic attack. True. I wonder if you could snap somebody out of a panic attack by being like that. Listen. We're only at this for another hour. Maybe stop panicking. Let's just do it. I don't know. Oh my gosh, my cat has relinquished my whole chair back to me. Thanks, Dusk. Thank you. Oh, she went over to her chair. Wow, it's really different. I feel taller sitting in my chair now. 24 hours? What I'm saying is, everything's okay. Just take some deep breaths. We'll sort this out. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a fuss. Cafe's empty. It's not like I've got anything else going on. Don't worry about it. Are you sure? Kind of a burden. You're not, promise. Chin up, mate. Let me tell you about the building. It's got some cool history. So the first time I came here was about 4 years ago. And that's why you should never ever serve a martini to a dead biker, even if he specifically asks for one. What? Huh? Out of all the possible ways to react to that, that's one I certainly didn't expect. Yeah, no point in seeking eternal vengeance if you're gonna have to leave in a few hours anyway. Kinda strips it of meaning, you know? There's no way to tell whether you'll even care once you cross over. But then again, maybe I'm just being a buzzkill about it. Shouldn't go around policing people's reactions to things. I'm still wrapping my head around this death, that is. Feels weird to say it, doesn't it? Weird. Yeah, that's the word. So you said most people don't ever find out how they died before they pass? Even if they got murdered or something? Yep. Most people don't die from murder. It's mostly sickness, or old age, or lawnmower accident. Oh my gosh. Is that a real percentage of an issue? Well, they call them accidents. But really, loads of lawnmowers are possessed by evil spirits. Oh, that's sad. All right, hold on a moment. You can't just drop that and move on. Possessed lawnmowers? Seriously? Anything with spinning blades attracts them. Garden equipment, blenders. Why is blenders yellow? Power saws. They're a real pain in the arse. Gotta do at least 1 or 2 exorcisms a month on the coffee grinder. Oh, that explains so much about our coffee grinder at the shop. It's wild. So I know I'm breaking the rules again, but how many people are in here? How many people in here are dead? Yeah. It's a cafe for dead people. Does that mean it's everyone? Or are some of these people just really into ghost cafes? It's a new genre, guys. You got cat cafes, you got ghost cafes. A little of column A, a little of column B. Plenty of mortals come through. But this is one of the only crossing points in the country, so we get a lot of your type. That's also why the rent is so high. Also yellow word. Because those vampires who own the place know we get a lot of foot traffic. Literal vampires? No, like boomers, landlord class. Ah, same thing, I guess. So, to answer your question, there are 9 customers in here right now. Out of those 9, yourself included, I'd say 4 or 5 of them are just passing through on their way to the next place. How can you tell? Once you've worked here for a while, you get a sort of sixth sense for this kind of thing. Gotcha. Speaking of sixth senses, I've got one for trouble. You have 2 sixth senses? Hello, Ashley. Ashley has adopted the cafe staff a couple years back, much in the same way that a puppy adopts a squeaky toy. She was the kind of ferociously smart kid who absorbed information like a sponge, but only used it to cause trouble. Today, she was accompanied by the stench of motor oil and brought with her a look that said, "I'm an invincible genius." She was mostly right about that one. Alright, I know that look. Spit it out. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Cut the crap, kid. What are you after? I'm busy dealing with a customer. I'm not really needing any attention. Shut up, Keyshawn. I need an extra pair of hands, and none of my Ashlings are around to help. Don't you have any clamps? We got a bunch for your birthday. We got you a bunch for your birthday last month. They're already being used for other very important things. They were not. Pretty sure I saw one on the table upstairs earlier. No, I really need a helper. Ashley, I'm busy. Please. Hey, I could probably... Ashley, come on. You've got to let us work. I'm not going to get anything done down here if I have to keep going upstairs to find the screwdrivers you've misplaced. But hey, no dice. What about Che? He can help me. But what about... He's emptying the dishwasher. Sound familiar? It should, because I told you to do it an hour ago. Oh, it's really no trouble. Oh, why don't I take this guy? Only thing he's busy with is being dead. Hey, come on. Ashley, I'm not going to argue with you about this. I'm sure he would rather relax than be bossed around. Also, manners. We've talked about this. You've got to be more respectful in front of customers. Please. I'm happy to go upstairs. Really, it's fine. I don't have anything else going on, and I'm super dead. I'm cool with it. I'm Kishan. Very dead guy. Happy to help. You sure? I can just send her back upstairs. Probably. I don't know. We weren't really winning that argument. Promise. It's fine. I'd just sit around and be a pain otherwise. Perfect. Come, peon. We've work to do. Ashley wasn't getting enough attention. But with Maddie's newfound responsibilities, some sacrifices had to be made. That meant the kid would just have to occupy herself with more often than not. She still felt guilty as hell about it, and... I reckon this place needs more plants. Whoa. Jesus Christ, Che. I don't know, I was observing plenty of plants, actually. You're gonna give me a heart attack, you old bastard. What's on your mind? Head in the clouds, as per usual. Did I look like I was thinking weighty thoughts? Excruciatingly so. What's going on? Nothing important. Just my resting bitch face. Nope. This one's different. How so? Your facial expression is reminding me of the time you tried to fistfight that cosplayer. Oh, the samurai. The one who barged in, waving his gift store katana around and demanding satisfaction after I refused to put 15 shots in his coffee? That's way too many. Weirdly specific. What's it look like? Looks like you just got threatened with 1,000-fold Nippon steel. It's a precious memory, so I remember it very clearly. A deep mix of disgust. Oh, I can click on them. People with a high disgust sensitivity seldom do well in a kitchen environment. Somehow Maddie manages. Okay. A whole bunch of derision and a tiny pinch of pity. Yep, that's me. What a mood. I like this place. This place looks really cool. You alright though? Real talk. I'm fine. I'm actually fine, or let's not talk about it fine. The second one. Barrow. Offer still open if you'd like to talk things out. In the meantime, sorry, can I grab that tea towel? My hands are wet. Oh, yeah, here you go. So, did the dishes need hand washing, or... I'm sure I told Ashley to empty the dishwasher earlier. Nah, thing's busted. Door latch won't close. Might call the repairman. Ashley shouldn't wash them by hand anyway. Her arm would corrode. So I did it. Not a problem. Yeah, fair enough. Here. unless you want to let Ashley at it. Some people remain stubbornly defiant in the face of planned absence. Replacements are for quitters. Okay? I'd call the repairman myself, but our landline stopped working last week. We have a landline? Yes. Ancient technology. An inelegant tool for a less civilized age. Only works when you pay the bill, though. I don't know if it'd be cheaper to get it repaired or to just buy a new one and give Ashley the old one for parts. Costs are pretty close, all things considered. Hey, don't work too hard. You worry yourself into an early grave. Hey, you spent 50 years digging holes. If you want to see a lot of Earth, you can become a globetrotter, or you can pick up a shovel. True? Sounds like pretty tough work, old man. Ow, old man. For your information, I'm barely 170-ish. I'm failing to see the inaccuracy. It was during a literal gold rush. Everyone was doing it. Only thing different about me is that I eventually started digging up things more interesting than gold. Only kind of gold I'm interested in is brown gold. Coffee. Shut up. Where is her earring? Is it like the middle piece of like a grandfather clock? Hey. So, I know it's just another stress on the stress pile, but I think we need to put in an order for more kitchenware soon. Yeah, another thing that costs money. We're beginning to run out of cutlery, though. Summary of Offenses Act 1988, Section 11C. A person must not, without reasonable excuse, proof of which lies on the person, have in his or her custody a knife in a public place or a school. Okay? It keeps disappearing. Not sure where. I don't know how long it can wait before we get more. Ugh. I don't know if we can afford that this month. Just, everything's a bit too pricey right now. It doesn't help that the coffee cartels keep pushing prices up. I don't think the importer is part of a cartel. They're quite nice. I've seen photos of their kids. You ever spoken to them? They're obviously criminals with the prices they charge. The worst kinds of criminals are the kind who operate within the bounds of legality. Wholesale my arse. And yet, we keep buying from them. Well, yeah, the beans are good, man. It's just everything else on top of them that's stressing me out. Ah, yes. I'll happily accept the blame for some of that. It's fine. You don't have to. I know it's all on me. I've just got to figure out how to pay everything off. Everything? And everyone? Ugh. Shitty council of death and the doubly shitty time debt we owe to them are the last things I want to think about right now. I've lost enough sleep over it already. Hey, I'm here to help. I'm worried about you, You've had a lot of responsibility dropped on you in a very short period of time. Maddie's been saddled with great responsibility. She's still waiting for the great power that's supposed to come with it. And I can't help but feel a little bit culpable for that. I know, yeah, I know. But I can't thank you enough. Shh, it's all right. Hold yourself together. We'll figure it out as a team just like we always have. I just don't want to deal with it, I get it. And I don't want you to keep feeling like I'm imposing or interfering too much. I know the cafe is yours now, and even though things are a little bit much at the moment, I know I keep saying this, Maddie, but I don't know how much time we have to deal with all of this before things start falling apart. Things are already falling apart. But you're going to have to face reality at some point. You know that, right? Che, oh my god, yes, I know. I don't need any more reminders from you. Back off, man. Council's always on my mind. I can't escape them. My best is all I can do, okay? Just because you're my best friend and my old boss and my mentor doesn't mean I need you preaching at me about how I need to deal with my problems. Because they're my problems, not yours. All right, no worries. Give you some space. Might go check on Ashley. You've seen her recently? She's upstairs. Dragged a customer up there, talking about clamps or something. I'd better go rescue them then. I'll be back in a bit. Interesting outfit. Jay, he's right, isn't he? We really could use some more plants. So we're gonna strap a big old steak knife to it and make them fight each other. I love it. This is gonna be great. I want to build something that gets put on TV, on that TV show Row Battle Royale. With flamethrowers on it. You're not gonna put one on this little guy, are ya? A flamethrower? Probably not. But I want you to record the fight on my phone so we can send it to the producers. Yeah, sure thing. Let's get this knife attached. Pass me those zip ties. Zip ties. And the knife. Knife. And my coffee. Are you sure? Who even gave you that? Coffee! Damn. It's empty. My coffee is empty, Kishan. The world is beginning to vibrate. Maybe it's good that your cup runneth empty, yeah? I think my cup needs to run with more espresso in it. How many shots did you put in there? Too many, Kishan! But did anyone ask Icarus how many shots of espresso he had? Yeah, I'm reading a book about Icarus. Imagine being Daedalus and watching your son die doing the exact thing you told him not to. Oh boy. He flew into the sun. I'm cultured. In unrelated news, I have a headache. I think you might want to read a little more about Icarus. There's a twist ending to that one. I'm holding a knife, Kishan. No spoilers. No spoilers, promise. Alright, Che, just say hi. Try not to get a knife slung at you this time. You got this. Hey, kids. Intruder. I wasn't scared. Kishan, my buddy, my pal. Did I get him? No. You missed. Damn it. But, wait. You threw it on purpose? Extremely on purpose, yes. I'm fine, by the way. Oh, it's just you. Would it have been worse if it was someone else? Probably. Unless they were an actual spy come to steal my robot designs. Then it would have been good. Hey, I think I'm crashing. Zzz. Oh no. Is she okay? Did I kill her? She'll wake up in about 15 minutes with no ill effects. But you probably shouldn't give her any more coffee. She turns into a real goblin. Not to be confused with the days when she was just a regular gremlin, okay? Bet? Oh. Oh, she told me that it'd make her immeasurably powerful. I mean, she's not wrong. But you know, great power, great responsibility, yada yada yada. She's 13. Kid's got plenty of energy already. Maybe not the sense of responsibility, though. Yeah, I don't even know how I ended up sitting here attaching knives to robots. She's very convincing. Ashley's persuasiveness is a mystery. She clearly can't be logic, eloquent, or charisma. Oh, it clearly can't be logic, eloquence, or charisma that causes people to do her bidding. You don't have to tell me, mate. She basically lives here. Parents would kill me if they found out she'd nearly killed me. Pretty good blind throw, though. She makes me proud in the weirdest ways. Huh? Did she learn from the best? She did, but the best definitely wasn't me. Maddie's pretty deadly with the knives. Loves her flashy tricks. Bad habit, probably. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm being very rude. My name's Che. I used to own this place. Now I just sort of sit around and cause trouble and sometimes have knives thrown at me, I guess. I'm Kishan, and I died today. Gambling for time in a dangerous business. Right. I wonder if we get to throw knives as part of this game. I'm alive. Oof, we got a loud one here. Be nice. You guys know it's scary waking up. Big lights coming towards me. I think it's reliving its last moments. Looks like it. What is happening? Hello? I do not remember having this many limbs. Join the club, pal. We are reborn in a new image. I see. I'm Kepler. I didn't read the rest of that. I apologize. And I'm Jacoby. I am undefined. I don't know if that name will stick. Its body is made of a milk carton. Should we just call it milk? No, too basic. Imagine if you called me Goon because I'm made of a goon box. I wouldn't like that at all. Ashley was yelling about someone called Lovelace the other day. That's a good one, I think. How does our new friend feel about it? Acceptable. Excellent. Nice to meet you, Lovelace. That was a little interesting intermission. Are the robots significant? Look at you turning into a responsible human being. During intermissions at the end of episodes, you can freely explore the terminal. Memories are scattered throughout the terminal that delve into the tales of its patrons. More locations and memories become available as you progress through the main story. Is that just supposed to be delve? Is that how you spell delve? Does it have a W in it? It might be illiterate. Who am I? Who do I get to be? Who am I? Am I a robot? Hello. Oh, okay. I don't know who I am then. Yeah, can I investigate this? I guess I don't have collision except for with this table as whatever I am right now. Oh, this is so cool. Check this out. Wait. Maddie was about to leave the counter when an old-looking man pushed the door open. He was hunched over and he walked with a bit of a limp, and even at this distance, she could see the man or much that she would be interested in hearing from him. But it was obvious that the man had paid his dues, and she felt she owed him at least a few moments of her time. Even if he hadn't done anything in life worth of admiration, he at least had done enough to earn her respect. It was only when the man sat down that Maddie saw that his skin was cracked, not just wrinkled. His body had been aged, but it had been aged by the elements and the sun more than it had been aged by the passage of time. The slight limp in his step could have easily been the limp of a young man who had spent one day too many lifting loads that were 1 kilo too heavy for him. He took the seat directly in front of her. "You serve fruit here?" Apparently, the man was more interested in finding out what was on offer than figuring out where he was. Maddie kept herself from visibly smirking. There was something she liked about guests like that, people whose only question was what was on tap. Maddie glanced at Che. He gave a nod of assent. Yes, Che was willing to play the role of grill master today. "We do serve fruit," she said. The man squinted up at the menu above him. "My eyes don't work too well in this light," he said. "Got a paper menu?" Maddie reached under the counter and pulled out a menu that looked just as aged as the man sitting in front of her. Its scars were from coffee stains, not cuts, but as watched the man hold the menu, there was something about the combination of the two of them that felt right to her. The man stared at the menu for a good deal longer than it must have taken him to read everything on it. He finally spoke after a long considered pause. "Do you suppose it would be a problem if I were to order something if I didn't intend to actually eat it?" "That's not my kind of thing that would offend me. That's not the kind of thing that would offend me," said Maddie. Actually, it was exactly the kind of thing that would offend her. Yet there was something in the way that the man asked that made her feel like whatever reason he might have for not eating food he was served, it would be a good one. And she was half interested to find out what the man's reaction would be. I'll have the grilled halibut," he said. "Ah, halibut," said Maddie. She understood. Many people enjoyed the concept of grilled fish more than they liked it in practice. And if this man knew himself well enough to be upfront and honest about it, she could respect that. "I can't promise that it's never been frozen. I sure hope that's not a problem," she said, sure that it wouldn't be. "Sounds like my kind of fish," said the man. "The best halibut swim in the cold water. Ain't a problem if that water happens to be in solid form after the halibut passes." She nodded to Che, who nodded back and headed back to the freezer. The man placed both of his hands on the counter and folded them. There was something serene in the way that the man sat there, with no inclination to glance around and inspect the cafe he was in. No nervous movement in his legs, no strained expression on his face to express that he was waiting for something to happen. He looked so calm that Maddie almost didn't want to disturb him. But she chafed at the idea that only squeaky wheels were deserving of grease. Some wheels were just too polite to ask. "Do you want a drink while you're waiting on that?" "I don't think I need a drink," said the man. "All right," said Maddie, picking up the whiskey bottle and placing it in his field of view. A reminder of what he was free to ask for. The man squinted. "Is that Jack Daniels?" "Indeed it is," said Maddie. The man's shoulders rose a bit in what looked like barely a chuckle. "What a fondness for that particular drink?" "It's just that we share the same name," said the man. "I'm Jack Daniel. No relation to the distiller. I had several friends who took it upon themselves to check. As you might imagine, I've seen a lot of these bottles over the years. It's the kind of gift that people enjoy giving you when you have a name like that. Imagine that's true." "Is it a gift that you enjoyed receiving?" It's always a pleasure to receive a gift, said Jack. It's nice to know that you have friends who care about you and think about you. Is it a gift that you enjoyed consuming? I had a shelf in my flat where I collected them, waiting for other people to come so I'd have an excuse to open them. Ah, said Maddie, picking up the bottle and placing it below the counter. Sorry if I brought up a bad memory. He laughed. Where's the bad memory? They're good to receive from friends and good to share with friends. It's a reminder of the people who I was close to and the things I did with them. No need to apologize for that. Maddie smiled. She was beginning to find that she liked Jack, and it seemed like Jack was the kind of person who liked her, if for no other reason than that he liked people and Maddie was people. Oh, I missed something. Sorry, I took a sip of water. So much that she almost missed Jack's momentary sideways glance, an unguarded moment when his mind seemed to be on something other than what he was talking about. It was only an instant, but in that flicker of pain that she'd learned to recognize over the years, there was something in him that was hurting, even if he remembered his friends. A sense of loss, a regret about something left unsaid. Maddie wasn't sure. Whatever it was none of her business. But she wanted it to be her business. Well, anything you want, just ask, said Maddie. Cup of water, warm glass of milk. Warm glass of milk? How old do you think I am? Maddie shrugged. 5 or 6. Just the right age to drink a tall glass of milk before being shooed off to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm just barely older, said Jack. But if I do want a glass of milk, I guess I know who to ask. True. It's the end of that memory. And now we have, I guess that's a bottle of Jack Daniels. Can we go outside? Oh, that's really pretty. Loads of plants here. Can't click on these things here. Can't make myself a cup of espresso or coffee or anything like that now. Oh, here we go. Crucible product reviews. Here we go. Spirit resistance quartz crucibles with self-sealing lids. Product description. Heat resistance up to 1,650 degrees Celsius. Oh my God. Oh my God. Self-sealing lids from airtight seals around the crucible's ground rim. Highly resistant to corruption and spiritual interference. Clear inner and outer covering allow for easy spotting of cracks or imperfections. Quality suitable for mixing potions and filters. Average rating 3.5 out of 5 stars. Product reviews 5 out of 5. I love this. The covering, despite being quartz, has a textured appearance that gives it a silky smooth feel to it. Most crucibles feel sterile and cold, but this one makes for the perfect beverage container when entertaining guests. 4 out of 5. The previous crucible set I used was inherited from my grandmother, who brought them over from New England. Unfortunately, 2 months at sea were not kind to her spiritware, and her crucibles were filled with tiny cracks and microfractures that allowed unsightly-looking soot to build up, leaving them stained with hard gray lines everywhere, looking like they were about to crack apart at any moment. She used them for several decades to come, but every time I worked with her and watched them heat up, I was afraid they were constantly on the verge of shattering. One she used to contain a lost wayward spirit for several days before finding a home for it. And I would get up at night to check the embers under the crucible, and it was always unsettled, and it always unsettled me seeing how fragile the container was. Several times I found myself tempted to tip the crucible over just to see how easily it would shatter in my soft touch. Needless to say, this new set is much nicer. They are sterile, and I can keep several of them in my bedroom without feeling unsettled by their presence. 2 of the crucibles in my set arrived with small chips in them, but I contacted the manufacturer and they replaced them at no charge. The replacements were express shipped, and the process was quick and painless, so great customer service, and they offer replacements up to 1 year. For the price, they can't be beat. 4 out of 5. Owned mine for 2 weeks and it didn't crack. Decent for the price. Was that like you left that review after 2 weeks of owning them? I hope that's what that means. Not that they exploded after 2 weeks. Received mine in the mail this morning. Can't wait to try it out. So glad to finally have found someone selling crucibles at a reasonable price. A brand name one costs over $200, which is just outrageous. 1 out of 5. Bought these several weeks ago since it was the cheapest crucible on the site, advertised as spirit resistant. I'm working on a filter for my graduate thesis and purchased 100 of these for lab use. My plan was to monitor 100 different animal spirits over with different types of plant matter and compare how different biomaterials affected their vigor over a 90-day period. First day, I said the first 5 with samples of mugroot, feverfew, ginger, ginseng, and golden seal. Alright. I don't know what just happened there. Not sure why it crashed. OBS just crashed. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can make sure that it gets back up and running. I stopped reading the reviews when I saw it crash. Hopefully we're good now. Okay. That was just a really long review. I'm not entirely sure what that it's necessary to read it. It was really funny though. Think about alchemy the wrong way. What am I looking at though? Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. I definitely think I want to read that one. I just want to look around real quick. Okay. I doubt there's anything over there. Go ahead and read this. Highlighted passages from Thinking About Alchemy the Wrong Way by Sophie Cordova. Most study of alchemy throughout history can be categorized as either practical alchemy, that is, alchemy which aims to understand the world only as well as is needed to fulfill certain utilitarian ends, and philosophical alchemy, that is, alchemy which aims to come to a more complete understanding of the world as it is without prejudice, for which portions of alchemical understanding can be wielded to utilitarian ends. Absolutely. In the modern alchemy movement, there has been a tendency within literature to place a greater emphasis on philosophical alchemy, based on the premise that coming to a more complete and correct understanding of the universe is the best way for us to discover new practical methods for the physical use of alchemy. All right, guys, I can't read all these things. Can't do it. I want to get through gameplay. Although I really feel like parts of this are meant for that kind of fun. What kind of things we sell in here? Apples? Croissants? We love our croissants. That looks like it's just toast. Got some kind of a shortbread cake or something, and maybe that's a biscotti. Or just a coffee cake, maybe. All right, well, let's continue, shall we, Maddie? Yes. I think this whole game is like just a giant story. That's a new thing for it to say. Anyway, man, I'd love to see that. I could use a pick-me-up. Can't promise it'll be there. Kind of inconsistent. Still, though. A hallway that's only there sometimes? How do you get to the kitchen otherwise? There's another slightly longer one that we use instead. But it's much less exciting. But on the upside, it's consistently there. I love telling new people about it, though. The reaction's always hilarious. I definitely didn't expect to be getting enthusiastic today over a weird quantum hallway. When people start getting nervous about magic, they usually start trying to explain it using science. Or enthusiastic at all, actually, because as soon as I stopped to think about it, I realized I'm actually extremely messed up about this. I understand your life has gotten very weird very fast, conceptually speaking. Or, your unlife. I should be better at talking about this by now. Shouldn't I? Jeez. That's not a fun one to think about, huh? Just keep talking about the hallway so I can keep my mind off this. To be honest, I'm not sure I can even properly explain what goes on in there. The building's mildly sentient. Too much magic. So the cafe is alive? Not necessarily. Plenty of things have come to life here, but as far as we can tell, the building itself doesn't really fall into that category. Let me see if I can fix this problem that it claims to be having. Hang on. Okay, you seem fine now? We seem fine now? We seem fine now. Also, it mostly tends to shift itself in ways that are helpful instead of frustrating, so quantum hallways. I'm making myself a cuppa, Australian vernacular for cup of tea. An important cultural institution, especially when drunk in the afternoon. You want something? No, I'm good for now. Also, what's the barista's name? I didn't actually catch it, and I feel like a jerk. Ah, Maddie? She's the owner now, not just the barista. Still makes coffee, of course. But since she's the owner now, she has a lot more to juggle. Why are you asking? Got your eye on her, eh? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me figure out what's wrong with this, I guess. Steam, are you downloading something? Nope. Definitely not. I think it knows better at this point. Let's nix the VTuber. See if that helps us. Oh, it was just giving me warnings, I guess. Okay. Why are you asking? Got your honor, eh? No, I have a boyfriend. Had? Oh geez, this is a lot. I can't imagine how he's feeling. Try not to think about it. Okay, yep. Okay. You want that drink now? I think I want something a bit more potent than coffee right now, sorry. Don't enable him, Keyshawn. Shush. I can get you something stronger, mate. Shot of whiskey, perhaps. I thought this was a cafe. Well, it is. Did you see our girl? She was over here just a second ago. Where'd she go? Mostly. We do serve alcohol, though. The stronger things on request. Stronger? Like what? Baijiu? Absinthe? Pure ethanol? Jesus, dude. Calm down. You think a place like this wouldn't have anything stronger than that? Stronger than pure ethanol? Sure. Remind me later, I might pull some out of my special reserve. Don't enable him, Keyshawn. Hey, someone's gotta drink it. You know you're not gonna touch the stuff aside from setting it on fire. Excuse me, I have perfectly good reasons for wanting to set a puddle of distilled soul on fire. We'll agree to disagree. So, Keyshawn, what'll it be? Actually, I changed my mind on the coffee. Can I order something complex? Gotta treat myself on my last day on Earth. I'm after a sugar rush. We have the ingredients. It shouldn't be an issue. Maddie can whip it up for you. Cool. In that case, can I have a large quadruple shot, double vanilla caramel, no foam, super hot, reverse coconut milk macchiato. Oh God. With 2 sugars and whipped cream on top? Maddie? Yes, dearest. Can you, I don't quite know how. Is this real? Huh? Is it too much? I was gonna ask for that shot of whiskey Che mentioned earlier, but it seems like a little extra. Well, yes. It is too much. I don't think even Starbucks would serve that. Why? Because it's a fucked up order, man. Dang. Every single word in that increased my urge to set the espresso machine on fire so I wouldn't have to think about making coffee ever again. Maddie has the classic symptoms of being a pyromaniac, but she's definitely not a pyromaniac. Sounds like something a pyromaniac would say. Oh, but the whiskey's fine. I do that too. I have a counteroffer, which you have to accept. Yeah? I'll make you another double shot long black, and I'll put whiskey in it. But I won't call you a hipster this time. If you decline my offer, on God, I will strip your soul from your body and use it to scrub the counters at closing time. They will smell delicious afterwards, if that's any consolation. Yikes. That doesn't sound like a competitive counter offer. Not the soul thing. I'll take the coffee. My generosity knows no bounds. Normie. Just so serene. So to conclude, that order sucked because it defies the laws of physics, has a heart attack's worth of sugar in it, and is something only wankers ask for. Is it possible to die twice? Yep. You can die twice if you're brought back from the dead. Or if you manage to really annoy someone between here and the next place. Which is more likely because resurrection is illegal. Resurrection is reserved for emergencies, and the Council has very particular definitions about what constitutes an emergency. Many centuries passed without a single qualified emergency. But if you're asking whether you can get a heart attack or whatever, the answer is no. Life and death have a slightly different meaning here. You can't die from natural causes. It's a bit complex and weird, and we're still in the process of figuring out how it works. I'm over 200 years old and I still haven't made proper sense of it yet. Why does this look like there was something attached here that we patched? Just got some vague ideas. Right. So what's keeping me from just staying here? Like, I'm already dead. Why do I have to go to the next place? You've got a certain number of hours you're allowed to remain on the edge of the mortal realm. Hours are fungible. They can be bought, sold, and exchanged, generally speaking. But the Council of Death always collects on debts owed to them, and you'll start running up a debt if you stay here too long. Your soul starts to get itchy, too. Is there any feeling less pleasant than an itch you can't scratch? Probably but it's still up there. I'll say, yeah, that sounds miserable. Not something you want to experience. Almost done with my tea. We'd had a few stray as stay past their allotted time, and they've gotten very uncomfortable very fast. It starts with general irritability, and then worse things begin to happen. Huh? The kid is still passed out. Little Ashley. It's a weird thing to wrap your head around. How long do I have before I need to make myself scarce? You got 24 hours. Any longer and we start to pick up the tab, since you're on our premise. The terminal is a place where borrowed time has a very literal meaning. And as charming as you are, we've already racked up too much time debt from letting people stick around past their expiry date. We're deep enough in the hole as it is, hours-wise. And cash-wise, we're extremely poor. We've been a bit too lenient in the past, letting people stay a little longer instead of gently shooing them onto the next plane of existence, etc. You know the drill. But hey, since hours are fungible, you can always acquire them in some other way. There's something happening tonight, actually, that you might be interested in. Seriously? You're still doing that? Shush. You know the council doesn't look on that stuff favorably. Ned said so himself. It draws customers and helps us shave down the debt. I'll take whatever I can get. And hey, fuck Ned. We have a 13-year-old right here, you know. She's heard enough coarse language in her life for a lifetime. I'm not too worried about her. She's right, though. What? Every time Ned comes around, he makes you guys really stressed out. Ashley's at the age where she's learned to recognize when other people are stressed, but not experienced enough to fully understand what it feels like. Maybe not you so much, but Maddie gets nervous and it brings down the mood, man. So fuck Ned. Goodness, I think you've had too much coffee today. And we're out again. I'm crashing so hard right now, you have no idea. It's like I was crashing earlier, but I was just a pre-crash, and I'm having a double crash or something. All I ask that you try and keep the swearing to a minimum when customers are around. Okay. Does Keyshawn count? It's fine. A couple of my housemates are tradies, so you learn to ignore it pretty quick. A great way to save money on rent and never get lonely if you're not attached to the idea of personal space. Tradies? We're tradies? Ugh. They're still tradies unless they changed career in the last couple days, but they're not my roommates anymore because... Hey, mates, have I mentioned how much being dead sucks? Because it sucks, and I feel extremely bad about it. Having a pretty bad time right now in general, to be honest. Yep. Even just adopting your language is a pain, isn't it? Want a proper drink now? Without coffee in it? I think this is where the souls arrive. Yeah. That'd be good. TV didn't say anything about there being a storm tonight. Melbourne storm, noun. A somewhat unusual weather phenomenon known for being the only one of its kind to occur below the Barassi line. Looks like a decent-sized one's rolling in. Melbourne weather strikes again. I'll go upstairs and close the windows. Cheers. Come on, Ashley. Let's clean up your workbench while we're up there, yeah? Do you need a bribe? Yes. I have some chocolate hidden away. Acceptable. Oh, another pleasant rain experience. Wait. Dead people can still get drunk, yeah? Why else do you think we serve alcohol? To make money? Well, yeah. Hang on. Do I even have my wallet? Doubt it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. How does that work? Why do I have my clothes, but not the contents of my pockets? A good place for things that don't have a place. Chewing gum, spare change, nervous hands. I don't know, dude. Everyone's experience is different. Death doesn't follow many rules. Only universal rule I can think of is that you can't stay. People don't generally come in without their clothes, fortunately. It is fortunate. So about this drink. I guess you're gonna give me some straight vodka or something? Why is that? You don't like making complex drinks. No, dude. I don't like making ridiculous caffeine-laced milkshakes for overcompensating soccer dads. I'm happy to mix a cocktail within reason. Oh, okay. What have you got then? Che's got everything you can think of. And then some. I could go for a mint julep. Hey, what's that outside? Outside? Some guy in the rain? Oh, shit. Maddie? Maddie, what's up? Let's get started on that drink. Uh-oh. Who's this guy? Morning. Hi. Hello, recently departed. Hey, that hat you're wearing kind of makes you look like Ned Kelly. I could have sworn you were standing outside literally a second ago. So how'd this one cart get? Good morning to you too, Ned. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, Madeline. Piss off, Nedward. Not even my full name. Isn't it Maddie? Che said it was, and he never lies. He never said that. Well, no. But it was worth a try. A try at what? Catching me off balance? Some shit go along those lines? Mate, I am so off balance right now that a slight breeze would knock me over head over arse. Don't push me. Hey, this mint julep is great. I just wanted to contribute that to the conversation. So you catch the game last night? The Australian Football League provides everyone with a chance to root for your favorite local team unless you're Tasmanian. No. And I do not care to discuss the egg sport with you or anyone else. Don't try it. Ugh, just making polite conversation. You should try it sometime. Maybe. Not for you, though. You've never come in during daylight hours before. What do you want? Nothing much. I'd like to talk to Che at some point, but it can wait seeing as he's missing? Planning on sending out a search party? Might do. It'd be a shame to lose an old friend by letting him wander onto some train tracks or something. Yeah, well, shut up. He's upstairs, last I saw. What was the last you saw, Maddie? Tell me, why are you like this? What was it? Last saw him walking upstairs. So he could be anywhere then. Probably fled the country to dodge the massive time debt you lot are racking up. Some obligations have a way of following you no matter where you go. He can't go far. I've got him on a pretty tight leash. And in regards to the debt, it's not your problem. You must not have heard. Not your problem. Che, your dickhead friend Ned is here. Oi, I'm a distinguished gent, not a dickhead. I'll be down in a sec. Yeah, sure, but you also work for the Council of Death. So even if you're a distinguished gent, it cancels out. Is the Council of Death like a normal city council, except for wherever dead people live? Yeah, but the only trash that needs to be collected is right in front of me. This guy? Me? No, you. You're the trash, Ned. The trash is you. It's you, Ned, the trash man from hell. Because councils pick up trash. That's the joke. Oh, it's not funny if you have to explain it. Oh, cool. He's even got a head shaped like a rubbish bin. Totally fitting. Huh. I'm not from hell. I don't care. And to be clear, Ned, in case you weren't already, You are the trash. Yeah, I get it. You know how long Che's gonna be? Don't know. He was busy upstairs with Ashley. Yeah. I had to hide like 5 steak knives from her. I don't even know we had 5 steak knives. Get quiet there, mate. How long have you been sitting here? Does it matter? Well, your employee is being very rude to me. So if you'd heard any of that, I keep trying to tell him. Ah, my employee, yes. We have some catching up to do. I don't follow. Did she quit? Patty's not one to back away from a challenge, but if she did, she wouldn't be the first. True. Did you fire her for gross incompetence? Far from it. There's been a shakeup in the cafe's management structure since you last visited. Oh no, don't tell me. You gave her the whole thing. Okay, I won't tell you. I tried to tell you before, man. Hey, does anyone else like mint juleps? This poor guy. He's just trying to enjoy his drink. Because this is great, and I'm nearly done, but also my tongue is numb, and I'm wondering what the deal with that is with that. Was there something you wanted to discuss? I need a drink before we can go through all that. Oh my gosh, sure. The usual? Yes, please. How come he gets a curly straw? So, Che, send me a tale of how and why you handed down the cafe to this person. Well, every man's got his price. Can my price be a curly straw too? Buddy, I'll give you 2 if it means you'll stop complaining about numb lips. Yeah. What did you make this with? I couldn't find half the ingredients, so I put a bunch of baijiu and chili seeds. It's got some of the stuff though, so it's a mint julep in spirit, if nothing else. Does this have any mint or julep in it? At all? It definitely may be lacking mint, and I cannot confirm nor deny the existence of the mythical julep. To some people, this place seems otherworldly. For others, it is just the world they live in. You asked for baijiu earlier, though, so there you go. Mission complete. Maddie, I'm getting very drunk very fast. Baijiu will do that to ya. Oh, no. Here, I think you should have a little lie down. I'll get you some water. I'm as strong as an ox. I don't need no lie down. Kishan, my dude, you absolutely need to get horizontal as soon as possible. You can sober up in one of the booths up the back. It's nice and quiet over there. I'll fight you. I'll win though. Up you get, mate. Bloody hell. It would have been helpful if you'd told me about this before. Probably. I'm not worried about it. Maddie knew what she was getting into with the whole cafe situation, and it's natural that it might take a while for her to get the hang of running a business. Bloody hell. Bit of a dog's dinner, though, isn't it? Ned would know. Oh, for sure. But it'll get better. Like I said, not worried about it. Well, you may want to hold your judgment on that for the moment. I am, unfortunately, here on official business. Oh. I shouldn't have given you the straw, then. No, you shouldn't have. I look quite silly. Want me to get rid of it? It's just Maddie. She won't use it to derail the conversation or make me look like a fool or anything like that. Straw? No. I'll get you one after you have a nap. You can sip the water like a normal person. Oh, that was her. I'll put it in the dirty dishes then. There's a little music note. Wait, I can click on things in these scenes too? You guys, I didn't learn how to play this game. What the heck? The sacrifices I make for this job. Hey, you met me through it. so can't have been all bad. That was bloody 100 years ago. Man, really? Longer. Time flies when you're immortal, huh? Quasi-immortal. This old rust bucket's still got an expiry date. Somewhere down the line, time comes for us all. True. What's this about immortality? Hey, you should buy more plants. Shut up. Sorry, continue. Immortality. Nothing that I trust you with, that's for sure. Aw, don't you want to see crotchety old me being rude to youngsters in 100 years? Truly, I do not. The far future doesn't need amateur necromancers. Amateur can describe someone who's not good enough to turn pro, but it could also mean someone who passively engages in something just for the pure love of it. Your loss. So, you two heading upstairs? Actually, Ned does, in fact, have something fairly important to discuss with you. Oh? It's about the debt you owe to the council. Yeah, I know. What about it? Ned, you're a sweater-wearing shorts guy with a scarf. What happened to you? Maddie, it's time. You owe us over 600 hours. Chase signed a contract. The hours or the cafe. You own the cafe, so you own the debt. And tonight, I've come to collect. That was cool. Sweet. You guys think that's the beginning of our game then? Oh. That was kind of intense. Do they do that often? The song and dance thing? Yeah. What do they think they are? Some sort of anime street gang? Yeah, why not? What sort of self-obsessed jerk has their own theme song? Don't be a downer, pal. No, I was talking about the dramatic encounter. Oh, between Maddie and Ned? Yes? Yeah, they've got chemistry. Not the romantic kind, the explosive kind. Accurate. Can't leave them in the same room together or they'll kill each other. Bad history? I just serially troublesome person. From Ned's perspective. Doesn't help that she can't stop herself from pulling pranks on him. Oh, joyful. No, I suppose not. I mean, he doesn't make it easy either. I don't think he's used to having his authority questioned. She really gets under his skin. Wasn't he a famous criminal? Oh, he was? And therein lies the irony of the situation. What a strange world we live in. All right, I guess that means now we get more memories or something? This shouldn't be a depressing memory for any of us. Doodle mode is now available. You can now speak to Ashley to access doodle mode. Ah, I could doodle things? I go outside. I'm upstairs. Oh, I didn't even go upstairs last time, you guys. I don't even go up the stairs. The game was like, hey, why don't you go explore up here? Oh, cute. I like this. This is a really cute cafe. Got some espresso, some cappuccino, macchiato, a latte americano, flat white, long black, and an espresso campana. Oh, espresso campana. Dude. Oh, Maddie's inbox. From Jean Bean, 19, at yahoo.com. Spirit beacon leaking. January 25th, 2014, 7:30 a.m. To admin at Terminal Velocity. Hi, Madeline. This is Jeanette from the location down by the docks. I believe we met in person for the first time last month. I was opening up this morning and noticed that most of our spirit juice was gone. I checked the map and saw that you're the nearest location with a spirit beacon. I think you may have drained some of our supply. Honest mistake, I'm sure. But if you could stop running your spirit beacon during peak hours, that would be much appreciated. Thanks and looking forward to working with you in the future, Jeanette. Another one. Hi, Madeline. Hope you got my previous message. Just wanted to give you an update on the spirit juice situation over here. I had several bottles that I marked last night just to confirm the issue, and when I got in this morning, the levels were below where I marked them. We're definitely losing spirit juice, and you're the only spirit beacon close enough to be affecting us. Please modulate your use to reasonable levels. I don't think this should be a problem as long as you're not running your beacon overnight. Again, not trying to assign blame here, but please be considerate of folks at other locations. Thanks, Jeanette. Oh boy. I'm guessing we never turned it off. Madeline. We are draining spirit juice over here so fast that if I sit and watch, I can see it disappearing from the bottle. You're the only spirit beacon that is even remotely close to where we are. So we really need you to stop. If it's affecting us, then it's probably affecting other locations. This is completely unacceptable. Fix this now. Jeanette. Hey, Madeline. Care to explain why you weren't at the terminal today when I showed up? I spoke with a girl named Ashley who said you decided to take the day off. What a coincidence. I was not impressed by the crying routine you had her do. Honestly, you should be ashamed of using a child's fake tears to try and hide from a situation that you caused. Turn off your beacon. I don't want to be the bad guy here, but if you don't do something about this, I'm going to have to get the council involved. From Clarence From. Hi, Maddie. This is Clarence from the Clarence, but he goes by Clance. Okay, from the docks location. Just wanted to give you a heads up. This morning, we found out that the site manager we recently hired, I believe you met Jeanette last month, was leaving spirit juice in untempered glass bottles, and we had a bit of a leak. We ended up having a bit of a problem with some animated cutlery. We have the situation under control over here, and we're mostly sure everything is accounted for on our end. Unfortunately, this started happening about a week ago, which might be enough for something to wander off far enough that we wouldn't be able to detect it. Very unlikely that this happened, but just wanted to give you a heads up, just in case a possessed steak knife wandered off far enough to find your beacon and decides to pay you a visit. Sorry about the situation. rest assured that the person responsible for this won't have any opportunities to mess up anything of this magnitude again. By the way, are you planning on going to M's birthday next month? Regards, Clance. Hi, Clance. Sorry I missed your message earlier. I no longer have this address. Please use contact@terminalvelocity.org for anything related to terminal business. Hope you enjoyed M's birthday party. I don't remember why I couldn't attend, but I'm sure it was a good reason. Maddie. Good one, Maddie. Good one. Whoa. Dude, I would love to just sit up here. Look at how cute this is. I can't fit between this. Can't do it. The fisherman. All right. Advisory role. Maddie was washing her hands when Ashley poked her head around the corner. Here to confess something or here to ask for something? Thought Maddie to herself as she dried her hands and turned to face the girl. The grin on Ashley's face confirmed that it was the latter. Maddie arched an eyebrow and turned to the coffee grinder. Ashley stepped around the corner and stood close enough to Maddie to occupy her field of view. Every time Maddie turned, Ashley again repositioned herself. She was waiting for Maddie to notice her. After a minute, Maddie decided that having Ashley hovering around her was more distracting than indulging whatever it was she wanted to talk about. What do you need, Ashley? I don't need anything, said Ashley. Though, now that you mention needing things, I think you might need something. Such as? An advisor. Ashley smiled triumphantly as she delivered the word. Uh-huh. What would I need an advisor for? To advise you, of course, said Ashley. And I suppose you have a suggestion for who I should take on as an advisor? Well, said Ashley, now that you mention it, I'm not too busy. I could be your advisor because you're an expert on advising. That's what an advisor needs to know about. And what makes you an expert on advising? I've been learning a lot about advisors, said Ashley. They get to help make important decisions, and then the person they're advising has to take the responsibility for them. That's why I'd make a good advisor. Because you don't want to take responsibility for your actions, I take responsibility for my advice. But if someone follows my advice, then that's their decision and their responsibility. Duh. I don't think I need an advisor, said Maddie. Oh, but you do, said Ashley. Aren't you always complaining about how busy you are? Yes. So busy that I don't have time to have extra counseling sessions with you. I'm not going to be your counselor, Maddie. I'm going to be your advisor. The difference being a counselor counsels, an advisor advises, of course. Busy people always seem to have advisors. The Prime Minister has advisors, presidents too. All the most important people have advisors. Their advisors tend to be more experienced than they are. Advice travels from those who have it to those who need it. Well, I'm doing fine, so I don't need any advising. I messed up their voices, my bad. But you could do with some advising. I'd be happy to give you all the advice I've got. Plus, you're more important than I am. You're kind of like the Prime Minister of the terminal or the president of the terminal or whatever. Kind of person who needs advisors. I see. So I'm hired? You already have a lot on your plate, I'm sure. Nope. I've got lots of time free. In that case, you have time to wash these dishes for me. Let me know when you're done. Wait! I'm only free to advise. I'm physically fatigued from a long day of work. Only my mind has extra processing power. I can only help you if it's by advising. Well, advising has physical responsibilities associated with it, right? Like sometimes an advisor will go to places that get important information. I guess so. I can do anything that relates to giving you information. In that case, Advisor Ashley, I need you to give me a report on which of these plates looks best when it's sparkling clean. But they're all dirty right now. Exactly. Time for you to do some investigative research. See ya. It's a great way to get her to do the dishes. Delicate operation. What am I looking at? This looks like it should be an emergency box. Billiards. All these books. Bunch of boxes of checkers. Yeah. Brad took a sip from his beer. It was non-alcoholic, but there was something about the dry aftertaste that kept him frosty. He leaned over the table and lined up his next shot. He eyed the problematic 9 ball in the upper right corner. He had a low percentage shot on it if he elected to bank it in, but he had 2 other stripes in the lower left to set up. If he had an audience, he'd go for the bank shot for sure. He liked the chance to shine. But today, there was no one to impress, no audience or flashy low percentage shots, so he took the shots on the 11 and 12, and the 3 shots later sunk the 9. An easy shot on the 8 sealed the deal. Brad scanned the table. 4 solid balls remained, a dismal performance on his part, or a stellar performance on the part of the stripes player. That was the problem with playing against yourself. You always won, but you always lost too. Brad chugged the remainder of his beer and added it to his collection of empties, which now stood 5 bottles strong. He took a moment to survey the room. His table was the only one of the 4 that was in use. That didn't come as any surprise to him. It was early in the evening, and he had grown accustomed to spending time alone in this room. He knew when he could come here to be alone and when the other sharks showed up. Brad grabbed the triangle. It was looped around the corner, up around his collection of beer bottles. Set the balls in order for another round. Someone came up the stairs, and Brad looked up briefly, long enough to see a woman who he recognized as the dour-faced barkeep who had served him the beers that'd keep him company for the last hour or 2. Several steps behind the woman, he saw an older-looking man. The man stopped in front of the table opposite Brad's and began chalking up his cue. Brad directed his attention to the man. He usually offered people a game when they came up, but the man seemed prepared to keep it to himself. So Brad said nothing and tried to focus on his own table. Set up to break, and the older man coughed as he shot. He hit the cue ball just a fraction of a degree off. It bounced off the rack into one of those side pockets as the rest of the balls jostled around the table. Stink. Brad didn't swear when playing pool. His earliest experiences with competitive billiards had been in an environment that forbade obscenities and issued foul penalties every time he let out an involuntary shit or fuck. He'd had to find cleaner substitutes. Break came from the sound of the old man's table. 2, 3, 4. Brad put down his break cue and picked up the leather-tipped cue that was leaning against the table. 5, 6. Brad chalked his cue, trying to avoid the tilt from his bad break. 7, 8. He lined up his shot and realized that the man was already fishing his balls out of the pockets and collecting them in the triangle. Brad did a double take. Had the man sunk the 8 ball after 8 strokes, including break? Brad continued playing his own table, but kept an eye on the older man this time. It happened again. Break. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A perfect clean sweep. As the old man began clearing the table, Brad walked over. "Excuse me," he said, "but I couldn't help but notice you just hit 2 perfect games. What's that?" The man turned to Brad, squinting at him. Brad repeated himself a bit louder this time. "I was just complimenting you on your 2 perfect games. Impressive stuff." The man heaved his shoulders. "Sometimes you get a bit of luck on your side." "Still," said Brad, "you don't see novices hitting 2 consecutive perfect games." The man offered another ineffectual shrug. "Do you, want to play a game?" Brad gestured to his own table, which was already set up. Most of the people who come around here tend to be novices. I've been itching for a bit of competition. Brad paused, but the man said nothing. Of course, if you'd prefer to play on your own table, I don't mean to intrude. We can play, said the man. Though if I can shoot perfect a third time, you won't get to. I'd be impressed if you pull that off, said Brad. The older man racked the balls and stepped away from the table to let Brad break. Brad leaned over the table and took several practice strokes before finally connecting with the cue ball. The break was weaker than he had expected, but he managed to sink one ball. He looked at the table, annoyed, and realized that he hadn't bothered to check if the rack was frozen before he broke. His next shot was a straight into the middle pocket. He briefly visualized the trajectory of the cue ball in his mind. He would easily knock the 6th ball in, then bounce toward the front of the table. Brad wasn't confident where exactly the ball would stop, but he was confident he'd be able to do something with it. He took the shot, and the 6th ball went in. Solids. After the cue ball settled, found himself with no good options. Brad smiled. Making something out of nothing was his specialty, and after a few moments of eyeing different angles, he settled on a shot towards one in the bottom pockets. The striped ball was in the way, so Brad hit the cue ball several degrees to the side, curving its trajectory around the enemy ball. He hit the solid 3 ball, and the shot was made. Brad looked at the man, hoping for some kind of reaction. The man's mouth remained a flat line, his eyebrows arched. If anything, the man's lack of obvious expression struck him as a deliberate attempt to not show a response. That he had managed to get a slight rise out of the old man felt like a sweet victory. Brad made his next shot quickly, an easy straight-in shot on the 2 ball, made without thinking about where the cue ball would land. That was a problem for future Brad. But several seconds later, present Brad found himself scolding past Brad for putting him in such a foul position. He was corner hooked. I don't know what all these terms mean. I have like a vague understanding of how billiards works. And it sounds like they're playing solids and stripes. So, pretty straightforward. You try to get all of your kind in before the other person gets their kind in, and then you go for the 8 ball. The 8 ball always goes last. That's like all that I know. I don't know what a corner hooked is. I assume it has to do with a corner. That's like all I know. Now you guys have about as much understanding as I do if you never understood this. With the cue ball trapped next to the corner pocket, the only angles available to Brad existed in a 60-degree arc. I didn't mean to click that, but we are going to exit that. Okay, great. I want to kind of continue the story more. I do want to like read these, but I also like... Wait a second, how do I get down? Oh, here. Dude. Caution, cleaning in progress. Oh, wait, do I have to do all of it before I go downstairs? Can I go through any doors? No. Cannot jump. There's Ashley. Did I not read all of this? Oh, I didn't. You're overdue this week, said Ned. He tapped the list of rules that Maddie kept posted by the door. This 24-hour rule. Are you sure you've been enforcing it? I think how we run things around here is none of your business, said Maddie. Actually, it absolutely is my business, said Ned. In fact, keeping the rules is basically my only business. That's kind of what the word enforcer means. I'm supposed to scold you for breaking the rules. So audit me. Fine. Let me check your ledger. We don't keep a ledger. Maybe you should, said Ned. Lots of places do. It's a great system. You have someone stand at the door and have them mark down whenever someone comes in or leaves. Then you forcibly evict people who are overstaying their welcome. I'm amazed that you don't have a system like that in place. Some people overstay their welcome. Other people understay it, said Che. There's no need to strictly keep track of how long people stay, right? Just maintain the balance. You're right, said Ned. All that matters is maintaining the balance. So maintain the balance, because when you don't, then we have a problem. We're a bit short-staffed to have someone acting as a full-time doorman, said Maddie. Figure it out, said Ned. He tapped the board listing the rules. Change 24 hours to 23. When you say 24 hours, people think you just colloquially mean one day, and then you don't pay attention to the specific time. When you say 23 hours, people actually have to keep track of what time it is. That would be fine, said Che, except for the parts where you're cutting time off people stay. Trust me, said Ned. Anyone who would go right up to the limit is probably going to go over it. 23 hours is going to mean 23 hours plus an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour plus however long it takes to finish their drink. And if they leave in less than 24 hours, who gives a shit? I give a shit, said Che. You're right. You should give a shit. In fact, you should celebrate whenever you manage to scooch someone out of here in under 24 hours, because the balance is upset and you've got to correct it. You can either correct the balance 1 hour at a time, or the council could come in here and repossess some souls. Or we can find someone who knows how to manage this property responsibly. Turned to Che. Come on, buddy. I don't want to have to take this place away from you. That would be quite the escalation, said Maddie. Well, you're already on the first level of escalation, which is a stern talking to. Let's try not to escalate it any further. Well... Maddie cut him off. We'll change the rule to 23 hours, okay? Buzz off. Wow, really? Said Ned. Well, okay then. And while you're rewriting the signs, you should also take the green tea frappuccino off the menu. Fraps should be for coffee, not tea. Done. Wait, really? Said Ned. Damn, I didn't realize you were so open to feedback. Also, that caramel. We'll take it under advisement, said Maddie, placing a hand on Ned's chest and physically pushing him toward the door. Uh-oh, here we go. Hold up. What are you doing? Removing an unwanted guest, said Maddie. I need to practice if we're going to start enforcing these rules you care so much about. Now said Ned as he continued backpedaling to stay upright. Look, you could just... Bye, said Maddie as Ned crossed the threshold out of the cafe, and Maddie shut the door in his face. She turned around, leaning her back against the door and sighed. Che raised an eyebrow. You're serious about the rule change? Yeah. I'll change the sign in the menu after we close tonight. Wait, really? The rule change is just to keep him off our backs, said Maddie, and the menu thing? I made me to take that off anyway. It's the kind of menu item that attracts the worst sort of people. Well, okay. Though I do think we should change the rule back to 24 hours after we've had enough of the time balance out. Of course. Wouldn't want to upset the balance too far in the opposite direction. What would we do with all that extra time anyway? Well, don't we need it to pay off debts? Whee! Oh, these are her little robots. All right, maybe we are going to watch a few more of these things, because I do want to know what the deal is behind these robots. I also want to enter doodle mode, which I'm guessing means I get to draw cool things like that behind her. But we'll see. I want to know what that means. Royale Robots Power Rankings. Windless. When I first saw the name of this spot, I thought it would be styled to be like a girl who could run control storms and run like a ninja, a real lass of the wind. Or maybe a girl of the elements, someone with the ability to become the wind itself. If I were a windlass, I would vanish in an instant whenever Maddie appeared. She would look around and say, "Where's Ashley?" And I would be right there. But she wouldn't notice because I would be one with the wind. Then when she left, I would fade back into the room like a ninja. This would only work outside and in the rooms that are really breezy, so I would probably set up fans in the workshops to make it really drafty. Then I looked up online and learned that windlass is actually a fancy name for a winch used to pull anchors up. which at first made me think this bot was lame. It works by hooking its arm under enemy bots and pulling it up to flip them over. It never even tries to smash the other bots into bits and melt it with fire. But then I watched it in action and realized that flipping your enemy on their back to incapacitate them is the ultimate ninja move. Windlass moves like a master, spending the entire match trying to bait its opponent into exposing its weakness. And then, like a ninja master, it knows how to jab at exactly the right pressure point on the back of the neck to make her enemy's head explode. Windlass grabs the enemy bot by the one part of it that happens to be sticking out at the wrong time and flips it onto its back. Note, most bots only have wheels or legs on the bottom, so not on the top. So when you flip them over, they are totally helpless and the match is over. To avoid this happening, make sure to put wheels on the top as well. When I make a bot like Windlass, I'm going to call it Badass because that's what it is. That's funny. Very clever. All right, what is doodle mode? Yeah, what's doodle mode? What does that mean? Oh, you can draw a face for each ashling. Whenever an ashling appears throughout the game, you'll be able to see your artistic masterpiece. Oh, cool. Oh, that's neat. All right. He's got a cute little bottle. A to draw the face. Oh my gosh, that's cute. All right, wait. That's freaking adorable. Cute. Oh no. No. Can I just go over to the next one? Hit save. Oh, okay. I guess yes then. Look it! It has a little face now. That's adorable. Oh my gosh. We can draw on its whole entire face is our canvas for this guy. That's awesome. What kind of face should we give him though? Let's do... Wish I could have smaller lines in there. That'd be nice. What is happening down here? All right, I guess it's flat. I wasn't sure if it was, but I'm glad it is. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, that's it. Now they've got faces. Look at our bots. They're adorable. Cute. All right, guys, as much as I really want to continue doing this, I think it is a good stopping point. I'm going to go have lunch. It shouldn't be a depressing memory for any of us. Yes. I'm going to go have lunch and I wonder if I can save this. And then we're going to come back and we're going to play Kimono Tea Time. I'm pretty excited for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this. Yeah, definitely a very narrative-driven one. That was very, very interesting. I'm very curious where this goes from here. I think this is like a relatively short game, like all things considered. But I feel like I kind of thought that I was going to be like actually talking to a lot more spirits as they crossed through, and like not spirits as well, like the living people that come to mingle. Because I'm curious to see how they would play that out. As you know, the living and the dearly departed are passing by each other in this game. But anyway, yeah, this was really cool. I really like this, and I will see you guys in about an hour.